收看今天的汉天新闻，我是施方圆。首先来看美国国内消息。美国纽约市警察局局长19日宣布，轰动全美的2014年加纳案涉事警员潘塔莱奥已被市警总局开除。2014年，加纳因涉嫌贩卖散装香烟而被捕。警员潘塔莱奥对受害人进行锁喉，这是纽约警局政策所禁止的，直接导致了患有哮喘病的加纳死亡。这一案件当时引发了全美的抗议性活动，但涉事警员并未受到谋杀罪指控。现在民众仍要求警方伸张正义，表示他们不会妥协。
NYPD Commissioner James O'Neill announcing a long-awaited final decision.
It is clear that Daniel Pantaleo can no longer effectively serve as a New York City police officer.
Pantaleo was found guilty in a disciplinary trial earlier this month of using a chokehold on Eric Garner, the administrative judge recommending Pantaleo be fired, and the police commissioner agreeing.
This was not an easy decision. It's not something that I could make over a few hours. I've been thinking about this since the day I was sworn in as police commissioner.
But Pantaleo's defense attorney and the police union continue to say the chokehold did not cause Garner's death, and add that firing him has a negative impact on the entire police force.
The leadership has abandoned ship and left our police officers on the street alone.
The termination comes more than 5 years after police tried to arrest the 43-year-old father of 6 who was allegedly selling loose cigarettes illegally, and 5 years too late, according to the family.
We will be going for the congressional hearings. We will be trying to reopen the case. We will be going after the rest of the officers involved because it's not over.
Their goal is to make it illegal for officers to use a chokehold in New York and in the U.S.
The fight is not over. We will continue to fight.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
目前，佛罗里达搜救部门正在海上搜寻2名失踪的消防人员。他们在休假期间前往海上钓鱼，周五就失去了踪影。目前参与搜救的包括多个执法部门工作人员以及大量志愿者。人们在失踪地区的海岸以及洋面上50平方英里的面积里进行地毯式的搜索。
This is still absolutely a rescue mission.
Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Interim Chief Keith Powers giving an update on the massive search underway for 2 firefighters missing at sea.
We're going to find these guys, and it's just a matter we finally started zeroing in a little bit today.
Surveillance videos showed Brian McClooney and Justin Walker setting out from Port Canaveral, Florida, Friday morning for what was supposed to be a short fishing trip. They didn't return that evening as expected, so family members called the Coast Guard. What followed was a days-long search by air and sea, with boats and aircraft searching an estimated 24,000 square miles of ocean.
Days are long and nights are longer.
McClooney's wife confirming that a gear bag found floating in the ocean Monday, about 50 miles east of Jacksonville, belonged to her husband.
They might have tossed over hats that would wash ashore, extra life preservers that were on board, anything floating.
Dozens of Good Samaritans are pitching in to help with the search, as are McClooney and Walker's fellow firefighters, who say the 2 men have what it takes to survive.
We're talking about a decorated, combat veteran here. We're talking about a firefighter paramedic.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
虽然目前美国总统川普刚刚表示，他对目前美国的经济形势依然持乐观态度，但依然有大量专家学者认为，美国的经济正在走向衰退，而债券市场正在发出最强烈的信号。而如果这一信号被引证是正确的，2020年美国将迎来极大的危机。
After a week of Wall Street whiplash, stocks surged Monday. A sign investors think the trade war with China may soon end. Sunday, the president tweeted, "We are doing very well with China and talking." The trade war has been one factor that economists worry could soon cause a recession. Trump and administration officials, however, insist that's unlikely.
I don't see a recession.
I sure don't see a recession.
A survey released Monday shows many economists disagree. Nearly 3/4 of those surveyed think the U.S. will enter a recession in 2021 or sooner. Consumer spending has propelled the economic expansion now in its 11th year, but experts fear if the spending flow dries up, a recession may follow. Around the world, the outlook is troubling. The International Monetary Fund cut its global growth forecast in April. Germany's central bank warned the European powerhouse is teetering on the brink of recession. The Brexit strategy remains opaque. Here at home, economists don't expect a trade deal with China before 2020. U.S. farmers worry they can't win a waiting game.
Every couple of years we have elections, and it drives a lot of our policy. China doesn't have that. They take a long-term view, and they don't really care on this short-term stuff.
In Washington, Whitney Wild.
上周，以色列拒绝了美国民主党籍女议员塔利布入境的请求，而之后，塔利布以以色列设置带有羞辱意味的压迫性条件为理由，取消了前往约旦河西岸的探亲之旅。日前，他再次就这一事件发表了看法。
The decision to ban me and my colleagues, the first 2 Muslim American women elected to Congress, is nothing less than an attempt by an ally of the United States to suppress our ability to do our jobs.
Democratic Representatives Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib claiming Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu banned them and other Americans from visiting Israel and Palestine to avoid exposing their occupation of the West Bank.
The occupation is real. Barring members of Congress from seeing it does not make it go away.
All of us should be deeply disturbed. All of us Americans should be deeply disturbed.
Omar and Tlaib have repeatedly criticized Israeli policies, calling for boycotts against the country. Netanyahu says his decision to deny them entry has to do with respect, saying in a statement, quote, "We respect all the American parties equally, but we also respect ourselves. Whoever comes to promote boycotts against us and to delegitimize the state of Israel, we will not allow to enter." Now Omar and Tlaib are calling on their colleagues to carry out the trip.
Meet with the people we were going to meet with. See the things we were going to see. Hear the stories we were going to hear.
I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
日前，一名美国母亲在沙特阿拉伯被剥夺了对自己女儿的监护权。沙特政府提出的理由是，他阿拉伯语说得不好，是无神论者，有工作无法长期陪伴女儿，并且对女儿的教育方式太西方化。该美国女子表示，对于法院的判决，她将持续上诉。
Oh no!
Meet Bethany Vieira and her 4-year-old daughter Zaina. They're in Saudi Arabia.
You mind?
Cell phone videos. All the contact Grandma and Granddad back home in Wenatchee, Washington have right now. All the contact they might ever have.
If Zaina can't leave, she won't leave.
It makes perfect sense that she won't give up. We also realize that she may lose her life doing this, or we may never see her again.
Bethany has divorced her Saudi husband, claims he was an abusive drug user, which he denies. I messaged him for comment but got no reply. A Saudi judge just denied Bethany Vieira, an American citizen, custody of her own daughter, ruling the mother is new to Islam, is a foreigner in this country, and continues to definitively embrace the customs and traditions of her upbringing. We must avoid exposing Zaina to these customs and traditions, especially at this early age.
We may have different languages, but we're really the same. We're human beings. We should be able to get along.
Custody of Zaina now officially given to her Saudi grandmother. Both Bethany and her ex were found unfit. Her parents tell us there's now a warrant out for Bethany's arrest after she allegedly missed a visitation that her parents say she wasn't even told about. That Bethany's been banned from leaving the country for 10 years and been told not to talk to the press. That's why we're talking to Mum and Dad.
She wants to be able to have the right to go and come. She used to have that right. Bethany won't give up. And because that's her daughter.
Saudi Arabia has softened slightly. The past few years, women for the first time have been allowed to compete at the Olympics, vote in local elections, drive cars. But this remains one of the most male-dominated societies on earth. The so-called guardianship system still in effect.
Which means that a woman from birth until death must have a male guardian. The idea is that they are not capable and that men know better.
Under Saudi law, a woman's word still worth half that of a man's.
1 + 1 = 2.
According to the judge who took Zaina away from her mother, she'd been speaking too much English, not assimilating into Arab culture.
Bethany was talking to lawyers, and Zaina overheard the verdict, started counting in Arabic. to prove that she could speak it.
A State Department official told CNN, due to privacy considerations, we will not have a specific comment at this time. Our embassies and consulates abroad have no greater responsibility than the protection of U.S. citizens overseas, but added that U.S. citizens abroad are subject to local laws.
We love our granddaughter. I think our deepest fear is that we might not ever see her again.
苏丹过渡军事委员会和主要反对派自由与变革联盟17日在首都喀土穆签署最终分权协议。依据最终协议，苏丹军方和反对派同意组建11人过渡期治理机构，为组建过渡政府铺平道路。这个被称为这个国家历史上最具有划时代意义的一天。
It was a day that many within Sudan's pro-democracy movement feared would never come. A historic day, just 9 months shy of the day that demonstrations began against Sudan's now deposed dictator, Omar al-Bashir. The two parties, the deputy head of the Military Transitional Council and the representative for the Forces of Freedom and Change, signed a declaration starting a new era, a transitional period of 3 years and 3 months that would take Sudan, hopefully, to the next democratic elections. But even on such a historic day, the obstacles were clear. On one side was the representative of the Forces for Freedom of Change, Ahmed al-Rabi', a teacher making $33 a month. On the other side, Commander Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, known as Hemeti, a man whose rapid support forces are implicated in the deaths, in the massacre of demonstrators on June 30th. But on such a day, protesters weren't going to let that slow them down. Thousands arrived from one of the outlying regions, from the town of Adbara, the first town to take to the streets against former President Omar al-Bashir, and they were met by thousands more. In the days and months to come, there will be real key questions about what will make this agreement last, about the lack of female representation in spite of the fact that female activists played a key role in Sudan's pro-democracy movement, about whether it truly is possible for a notorious warlord like Commander Mohammed Hamdan Hemeti and his forces, and even those within Sudan's infrastructure of rule, within its security apparatus, within its military, who were implicated in other crimes that were committed during Bashir's 30-year rule, whether it is possible for them to truly transition to democracy. But for now, after this signing, it seemed to be about the celebration. Naim al-Baghir, CNN, London.
休息一下，马上回来。